Hey there, and welcome to our special segment with the fantastic Elise Swopes. This section is all about building your biz nasty.
On your phony.
On your phony. Something completely different from my experience building a business. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just make my ear bigger and I want all of the info.
I've got a lot to share. Initially, when I first started Instagram, I was really posting selfies and pictures of my food and of my cats. So I really started off
like we all start
regular.
off.
It was definitely the early days where I don't know why I was on there, but I was. So posting regular stuff, and then I found the artistic community within Instagram, and that's what kind of branched me out of the selfies and pics of my mac and cheese.
You're like, oh, we can do more.
We can do
There's more here.
Well, initially it was just like all the Instagram filters and a little bit of the tools that they offered at the time, and that was it. And so once I found Snapseed, it gave me a different insight on how much I can go outside of Instagram and actually post different stuff than what they were giving me.
Were you like, okay, maybe I could turn this into a business one day, or was it like just fun? You were just like doing your thing?
Lots of fun. It was really a game a little bit at the beginning because Instagram was so new. It was really about like, how can we get on the popular page and make our art most known, because it wasn't based on your preferences or whatever. It was just one page that everyone on Instagram saw. And the way that you got on there was if you got a certain amount of likes in a certain amount of time. And so we started seeing these algorithms kind of shift. And so once we
figured it out.
Yeah.
You got on the popular page.
I got on the popular page multiple times.
And
eventually, so Instagram actually found me. The Instagram, and they put me on
Instagram found you?
The John Instagram. Someone from their social team or something found my Instagram and made me a suggested user. And a suggested user was a person who's basically on this list that pops up. So when people sign up for Instagram, they know who to follow to gain inspiration from for what Instagram should be about. So I gained about 1,000 followers a day, and then I had about 100,000 followers in a year. So eventually Instagram kind of sold off to Facebook. Algorithm changed, the whole thing about it, and so they got rid of the suggested user list, and I made the rest of 150,000 myself.
So what was that turning point where it turned to like, okay, you know what? I got a bit of a following on Instagram. People are digging my work. I know there's other photographers out there getting paid. What's that turning point look like?
It wasn't that I was looking for it.
Okay.
Because I really didn't even know that it even existed, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I had a friend named Liz, and Liz reached out to me and she's like, you know, we've got this thing, this is our agency, this is what we do. And it was really so weird to me because I had no idea what I was even doing.
Right.
But they would be like, oh, we're going to send you product. A lot of it wasn't about getting paid. It was like, how much free product can I get? Like it was very minimal, like, because I just wanted to create content around that free product. And then eventually we started getting paid, like, a couple hundred here or there for like app developing.
I use this app to make this image.
So I eventually started doing projects with like Coach. That was fun. So they sent me like shoes, and I just took pictures of myself with the iPhone for Coach.
That was like a little bit of like your gateway into the world of like, wait, this could be like a thing.
Absolutely. I really had no idea that it was even a thing. So shout out to Liz for even thinking of me to be a part of that.
That's great.
It was really just about learning along with the process, but also eventually the more you do those things, the more you start like trying to make sure that you are getting what you deserve in return.
Yeah, exactly.
So it started shifting a little bit. I was traveling. I went to Dubai. I was like going all over the world, doing tons of stuff. But eventually they started signing way too many people, and it was,
it got a little diluted.
And so the influencer market in itself was becoming more diluted. And like now you're having,
it's crazy.
Billions of users on Instagram.
Yeah.
There's so many influencer networks. There's so many agencies based on just influencers. Like this is a booming business and it's not going anywhere.
No way.
No.
Well, I just saw an interesting graphic that like you know, if you're going to share something with your community, like, you know, maybe your community is a certain size, but an influencer shares something with their community is way, way bigger. So it makes sense for an influencer to share your content more than you just sharing your own content.
Absolutely, absolutely. And plus, I mean, the money that these people are spending on commercials and magazines, I mean, they're spending millions of dollars. They can spend that same $1 million on 100 different influencers, 1,000 different influencers, and make even better of a hit, you know? So
yeah, because it becomes like a personal message from each one of these people. That,
people don't want to listen to a commercial. They want to listen to their friends and the people they follow and the people they look up to.
For folks who maybe just starting off, maybe they just got their first client, maybe they're just like, I love photography, I love mobile apps, I love editing.
Where to begin?
What are some pieces of advice that you would give those people?
First, stay consistent. Just don't think so much about like what are you supposed to do. Just keep doing and putting out work. And the more that you put out work, you're going to learn from that work. I'm always looking at my work and seeing what I didn't like about it.
Yes.
And that keeps me in my lane, but also keeps me getting better. And so I think if you're just creating consistently, you have enough room to see what you should be working on. And so if you're just waiting for that perfect moment, you're never going to have anything. So just keep creating, keep doing, stay consistent, but also have something where you can send to people a PDF or EPK or something where you've got all your information, you've got the things that you want to do, your ideas, something you can send to people and have a link of that's easily distributable. Making sure that you're keeping face-to-face important too. I think my biggest thing about like my business is that I'm a good person too, and I'm very personable with people. And when I have a relationship with a client or something, I'll probably follow them and be like, hey, hope you're good, you know, after the project or something. With some people that doesn't work out, but for me, that's the way I like to do it, and I'll get hit up for a project, you know, again for them. And I think it's all about just keeping a long-term relationship instead of going
those relationships.
Yeah, because don't just come into a thing in a one-time like kind of idea so that you're just gonna grab your check. Like really think about the long-term in that relationship and how you want to keep it going. Like if you're trying to do something where you just need the money in the moment, don't do something long-term because you're gonna be unhappy. That's one thing. So if you just need the money, do it once and be out of there. I also think that, I mean, there's so much. Just use what you have to your advantage. I have been using my phone for my business for a very long time, and now that I don't do my own invoicing and stuff like that, I don't really use it as much. But I have invoice apps, Invoice Simple. I have just tons of different apps on my phone that can really organize my finances, like Mint, QuickBooks, just little things here and there, like Turbo Scan, where I can scan my documents, sign them back, you know, whatever. Just little things here and there. I remembered my day-to-days where it would make my process a lot easier. And so if you have something where you feel a little locked up and you can't do it, Google it. Find out how you can go past it without feeling like you're stuck, because there's no such thing as stuck when you have a phone in your hand. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot that has to do with business, but don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to make a mistake, because those are the things that are going to teach you what you need to know along the way. You're never going to come out being perfect, because that's just not possible. It's not going to happen. It doesn't exist. So the hardest thing, you know, for me, I think, is just starting. And once you start, everything that you thought was so difficult about it will just completely dissipate. So just, just have a passion, man, you know? That's the first and foremost thing. Is there's going to be a lot that's going to come at you that's really going to, like, make you question if what you're doing is worth it. But you have to be locked in no matter what happens and comes your way. And so that's what's going to set you apart from somebody who's going to quit, that you persevere through all those things. Because that's the only reason why it's why a lot of people succeed. It's not about their motivation. It's that they're committed, because you're not going to be motivated every single day. You have to be committed. It's not about feeling like you want to. You have to. So
you got to continue to push forward. You got to continue to work hard, because if you start to let up, you won't really notice anything in your life for like 3 to 6 months.
Right.
But then that 3 to 6 months time comes, and you will notice that what you started slacking on 6 months ago, will catch up to you.
Yeah.
And it works the other way too.
Yes.
If you start busting your now, you might not notice anything for 6 months to a year.
Absolutely.
But when that 6 months to a year comes, all the busting you did here will pay dividends down the line.
Yes, invest in your life,
Yeah.
invest in your future.
So just keep in mind what you're doing today will definitely come to affect you in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been fantastic.
Yes,
I'm
you're
enjoying.
fantastic.
Hey, just a couple Sagittariuses over here. I hope you guys learned a lot about business. I know I did. I look forward to see where you're going in the future. Big things.
Yes, you too.
Elise Swopes.
Yay, yay. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Learn you later.
Learn you later. Yeah.
You're so silly.